Bravery, aggression, intensity and a heart. That is what Miran Muslic has wanted from his players since he's come in the door, and that is what he got on Saturday. Well, it might not have been the win that we were all wanting and needing, really, at this stage of the season, but boy, was it an improved performance from Plymouth Argyle up at Sunderland, a side that haven't lost at home all season, and some of their supporters were saying they were quite lucky to get away with a point. This is Argyle analysis, and we will be picking the bones out of that performance, full of those trigger words that Miran Muslic has been talking about and that our supporters well and truly got behind and gave them something to cheer about, considering the amount of miles and time that was spent heading up to the Stadium of Light. To help me do it, as always, I've got Aaron Cusack with me. And Aaron, we mentioned those buzzwords: bravery, aggression, intensity, heart. We've heard Miran Muslic say them quite a lot. We got them.
We did. We got them in abundance, I thought, Charlie. It was a real excellent point in the end. And, you know, we said earlier about having terms need to mean something, and you need to showcase what those terms are. And I thought everyone associated with the squad at the weekend showed that, and credit where credit is due. You know, deserved at least a point from the game. Yeah.
There's a number of things that we'll go through, but to take the lead in a game, to then come from behind again in the game, to score 2 goals away from home, Aaron. We've only scored 3 away from home all season. And to do it, we saw Julio Pleguezuelo come off. To do it with players out of position shows that mentality that Miran's been wanting since day one, since he's come in, since that first speech.
Absolutely. He's already made reference to the fact that the mindset has to change, and it's going to take time. So things will be different. They are different already. It's going to take time for the players to adjust, but he needs people buying into the characteristics that he wants, So this isn't about tactics. This is about those key words, about being brave, about being aggressive and showing intensity. And then you can think about the strategies that go with it. And we started to see that, didn't we? From the fact that we took the lead and then we were pinned back or pegged back quite quickly, then to go 2-1 down and get back in the game. A roller coaster of emotions, and they stayed and held on, which is great.
Let's remind ourselves of the goal, shall we?
Yeah, first one, wasn't it? Not much in the first half, really, but this is in the second half. Quite fortuitous there, but Rans did well with the carry. Ryan, had to be in that space. It's clearly an own goal, but, if you're not in those areas, then you can't make things happen. He's just trying to hook the ball back, I think, to Cal Wright, and it was a little bit of an awkward one. It's kind of strange how it ended up going in from that angle, but there's your goal line decision that confirms it. And then within 2 minutes, Wilson, Isidore, we highlighted him in the breakfast show in the pre-game about how dangerous he can be. I think it was his 9th of the season. It's a good ball in, and he just gets in front of Pleguezello. So it's difficult to say whether it's anyone's fault. It isn't. It's just one of those moments. Beidou, for the second goal, didn't quite get enough contact on the clearance, and it fell straight to Trey Hume, who was really clinical. But they didn't give up, did they, Charlie? They didn't give up. They stayed in the moment. The players who came on made an impact. 2 of them involved here. And then the flick from JB falls to the third player who made an impact, and that Ogbeta, who, he's had a bit of a rough time of it, and everyone's really happy for him. And it's a really clinical finish as well. On the half volley, it's not an easy finish. He kind of just uses his momentum to get to the ball, and, real side foot finish. And I'm really pleased for him, because he's had a little bit of a torrid time over the last few months, and that was excellent to see.
You heard him talking after the game, actually. Rob made reference to it because he'd just been doing his sprints because he'd been out, he was a sub, so he was a bit out of breath. But you could see the delight in his face because, as you say, it's been quite a tough time since he came to the club in the summer. He probably wouldn't have played at the level that he would be wanting to. But that is just a huge moment. And whether it changes his time at Argyle or not, regardless, that's just a massive moment for him. And Argyle, obviously, at the same time. Yeah,
well, without that contribution, we don't get anything from the game. So it was a massive point for everyone. And I was really pleased for him because, like you said, I saw that interview with Rob, and, he's a human being. He's a football player, but he's a human. And we all want to receive some accolades, and he deservedly got credit for that because it was a really great finish. And we wish him well. We want him to go on and do well and build on that. And that might just give him that little bit of a platform, that confidence to take that into the remainder of the season. And if Music didn't trust him, he wouldn't have put him on. So he put him on, and he returned something of significance, which is really great to see.
Yeah, the one of the brightest sparks, at the very least for me, I think, from Saturday was showing that resilience to get back into a game, because we saw on the previous Wednesday against Burnley the sort of drop in confidence and sort of everything, really, performance after Burnley took the lead in that game, almost like, oh, well, they don't concede, we're not going to get back in this game. And considering how well we played in it on Saturday, to then be behind after going in front would have been a real killer blow to a lot of those players. And yet, and we'll see reasons for it in a moment, they did come back into that game.
Yeah, they did really well. And we've spoken previously about having heart and not capitulating. And, Argyle fashioned out a couple of decent chances. And we spoke about bravery, so that the clips we've got here are all of Argyle's chances. And what we mean by bravery in this section, Charlie, is being brave to break lines. We've spoken about being clinical and breaking lines in other shows. And we've got moments here about players being brave to attack the ball. So first and foremost, can you break that final line and attack it with aggression? Ryan Hardy doesn't need me to say he should have scored there, but he was in the area nonetheless. So the fact that they're making chances, I love this moment here in the second half. This is just before Sunderland's second goal. Rans with a terrific scan. Callum Wright's already pointing. He knows where he wants, so therefore we're going to break a line. We're going to be brave to break a line and cause Sunderland a problem. A terrific pass over the top. Cal Wright brings it down really well, and he's really unlucky. It's a really good strike. I thought it might have hit the inside of the post and go across the goal line and in, but it didn't on that occasion. And this is towards the latter part of the game. Again, breaking that line. Puac is going to swing this ball in. We've got Darko JB highlighted on this occasion. He just holds his run, but as the ball goes in, now break that line. And that's a half chance. It was slightly above him. It wasn't as clear cut as some might have thought. But even in this moment here, look, can you break that last line? Ball is now going to come in from Puac, and Beidou just needs to be a bit more clinical there. He kind of steps out of the way of it, but there was lots more intent to go beyond Sunderland's last line. And that takes bravery, because it takes courage to believe in those moments.